guys, Sandra Walker with Key Realty, and joining me today is Miss Kat from Encore. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Awesome.
So Kat, can you tell me a little bit about your company and what exactly is Encore Entertainment?
Absolutely. So I'm the owner and CEO of Encore Entertainment right here in San Antonio. I've been in entertainment for 23 years. We are a full service entertainment company that pretty much offers everything but catering. So if you have a venue, we can pretty much bring the rest of the party to you.
Awesome. So what kind, you said you bring the entertainment. So what kind of entertainment do you guys provide?
So we have everything from DJs, karaoke, and sound system rentals to photo booths. We have the open air, which is where you stand in front of a backdrop. We have digital photo booths, and then we have enclosed photo booths, which is where you go in this big inflatable 10 by 10 LED cube, which everyone loves. People think it's a bounce house. It's the coolest thing ever.
We have that. Like fun.
Oh, it totally is fun. People are always like, what is that? We have cloud machines, bubble machines, snow machines. We have concessions like cotton candy, snow cones, popcorn, outdoor movie theaters, costume characters. We have the giant yard games. I'm gonna just keep listing. I'm telling you, we really are like an all-in-one. We have mobile bartenders. We do trivia and game shows. We can bring that to like work events, like corporate, like team building events. And then we also do them like in people's homes, like if they have like a get together with a bunch of friends. We do comedy shows. We do lighting effects and monograms. And we also do event planning and photography and videography. So kind of like an all-in-one, like I said. So
you don't just do the big events. You could do the small, more casual, more intimate.
Absolutely. We've done events, everything from like a kid's birthday party of 20 people, all the way up to like weddings and corporate events of up to like 1,000 people. So, you know, no event really is too big or too small. We just kind of cater to the customer and, you know, their needs and their budget, kind of work with them on packages. They're going to best fit their event. Like, for example, you know, I wouldn't bring, you know, an Easter bunny to a Christmas event, you know, or a wedding, you know, unless they really want it. Maybe that's what they're into. But yeah, we really try to work with every customer, and you know, we can provide one thing, we can provide 20 things, whatever they're into.
Awesome. Now, how did you get into this business?
So entertainment was by accident. I started actually at the age of 16. I was a very young, naive teenager who used to go with my father to a bowling alley that had a DJ every week. They would do this thing called Rock and Bowl, where they'd have like these giant speakers and all these crazy laser lights. And my dad worked security, so I got to go and bowl for free every weekend while he worked. Well, as you can imagine, over time, I got to know the DJs that worked there because I was just Mac's daughter. And right about 16, Mac's daughter started to pipe up about how in the 90s, they were still playing music from the 70s. And I remember one night I had gone up to the DJ that I knew and I was like, hey, listen, it's 1998. This is like totally aging me now. This is hilarious. But I remember going up to him going, it's 1998. You need to play some stuff from the 90s. Like, we get out of the 70s and the early 80s? Like, we need to play stuff that us kids listen to. And I remember the DJ being like, all right, Kat, whatever. If you think you know it, why don't you come back here and do it? And I was like, okay. I mean, I'm just that person. So I remember going back, and at that point they had just transitioned from vinyl to CDs. And so, you know, these DJs are carrying around like these giant binders full of like 240 CDs. And I'm going through going, all right, you need to play this, then you need to play this, then you need to play this. And then they started showing me the controls. They're like, well, you load the CD here, you load the CD here. This is how you transition from, you know, one song to the other. And they were showing me crossfading and all that. So I started doing it. And like, I've loved music ever since I was little. So dating back to like being 4 years old, listening to Madonna and like Lionel Richie on vinyl, like that is where it's at, right? So yeah, so I ended up just taking over that night. And I remember the DJ going back to the boss going, hey, guess who was spinning tonight? And the boss was like, who? And they're like, oh, it's Mac's daughter. And they were like, what? Was she any good? And they're like, she actually like knows a lot of beats and like tempos, and she understood like, you know, speeds and things like that of songs. And we should give her a try. And so that was actually my first job. So I worked for this big company in New York, and I was DJing with them for about 5-6 years. And after about 6 years, me being a female DJ, which is it's a commodity really, I pretty much went to my boss and said, listen, I love you. Thank you so much for all the training that you've provided me over all these years and all the events, but I'm going to go out on my own. And I did. So at 22, I opened up my own DJ service, ran that out of New York for 8 years. And then when I met my current husband, we ended up combining forces. He was a stand-up comedian. I was a DJ. We're like, let's join. So we ended up making a company called Katie Productions in Richmond, Virginia. And the company's still running to this day. We're still managing that from afar. And we ended up joining forces and just adding things throughout the years in Virginia. We'd have a lot of couples, like wedding couples or schools or anybody, you know, being like, hey, do you know anyone that does a photo booth? Or do you know anyone that provides lighting? Or do you know anyone that does this? And there were a couple times we would refer, but then some of the referrals, they weren't up to par as to how we were as a business. And so I remember looking at my husband going, we just need to invest. And he's like, all right, let's do it. So we just started adding things over the years, which was great. And so in Virginia, we became this like all-in-one service as well. But when COVID hit, we moved here and we rebranded, restarted Encore here in Texas, and pretty much brought all of our stuff with us. And then now we're just managing the East Coast as well. So we're running 2 companies. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's how we started. Started as a DJ and then just got more and more and more into entertainment over the years.
And you touched on COVID a little bit. How drastic did it affect your guys' company?
It was crazy. So I tell a lot of people, you know, they're like, what brought you to Texas? I'm like, COVID did. You know, COVID is in some people's minds a tragedy. In some people's minds, it's a beneficial thing. You know, for us, I feel it was more beneficial. Texas already, you know, feels like our home, but I remember my husband and I, at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, we looked at each other and we were like, wow, we just hit 6 figures in 2019 as a company. 6 figures. I mean, it was amazing. And then 2020 hit, and I remember being at a bridal show with my husband, and we had to bring 3 separate calendars, just because we knew any brides that would come up that day would be like, hey, are you available? And we didn't want to tell them yes without checking and double checking and triple checking. Exactly. Because at that point in January of 2020, we had like something like 240 something events booked for the year. And I remember looking at my husband going, what the heck are we doing? Right? Like, how do we book so much? We were running trivia, we were running comedy, we were in 6 school districts, we had weddings every weekend that he was DJing or I was DJing. It was just nuts. And we pretty much looked at each other going, why are we even at this bridal show? And, you know, honestly, a part of us was like, whew, this is a little much. And then COVID hit and we went from like 240 some events down to like 40. All of our couples pretty much had to cancel their weddings, move them to fall, move them to the next year. We also had schools. I mean, they were doing any school dances. They completely shut down, went virtual for almost a year. And so my husband and I, just out of good faith, said, you know what, let's just put our house up on the market. And we did in July of 2020, and it sold in 8 hours. And it was basically our way of knowing that this is where we were supposed to be. So we packed up, moved here. We landed in like the Stone Oak area for a year. We call it our lily pad. And then found our way here to the West Creek area on the west side here.
So why did you guys choose the West Creek, if you don't mind me asking?
So it's so funny because with you being a realtor, okay, so here we are, you know, come May of last year or this year, excuse me. And we're like, all right, let's start house hunting. So we start house hunting, and my husband, he lived on the Madison side. So he was East End, like O'Connor Road over there, pretty much all of his school years. And so he's a San Antonian, I guess. And we were totally set. We were like, we didn't want to stay in Stone Oak. It was a little too bougie for our personality. Love it. It's nice and all. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling my kid driving a Corvette at 16. You know, I was like, this kid's going to drive a Honda Accord. And if people have a problem with it, then that's their problem. But so we were like, you know what, let's go somewhere kind of middle, you know, middle ground. So we were looking in the East End a lot, but we hit 3, 4, 5 houses, and there was just one problem after another. It just wasn't a good fit. And we were in final final stages of a house here on the West End over by Shanefield Road.
Okay.
Am I saying that right? And everything fell through, and we were like, what are we going to do now? So we ended up talking to one of our realtor friends, and we ended up finding a house here in West Creek, and we're renting for now with a goal to buy. But you know, I love this area. Love West Creek. I don't care if I rent here for the next 20 years and then head to the beach house in 20. But yeah, we landed in here, fell in love with the neighborhood as soon as we pulled up, and really love everything that this community has to offer. So we plan on staying here for quite some time. So it was totally by accident. We never even wanted to be on the West End. Like, didn't even think. And now we're like, this is where we're supposed to be. Like, I don't want to be on the East End. I'm like, I love this West End area. So
do you feel like it's very family oriented over here, or?
Absolutely. And, you know, a lot of the amenities that like my family does, like we have SeaWorld memberships, and like my son went to like the SeaWorld camp, and like, there's a lot of things over here on this end that we really enjoy. And the family, yeah, my kid's part of all the West Creek, like soccer leagues. He's about to start the football leagues. You know, the schools are good. I loved 4th of July. Oh my God, I was laughing so hard in this area, 4th of July. It was like, I was in disbelief in a way, you know, because everyone's flying off fireworks in their neighborhood. You know, there's houses like 10 feet away from each other, but I guess we're outside of the county line or some type of line or ordinance. I was like, okay, let's shoot off some fireworks. So I'm hearing they're going to happen on New Year's Eve again at midnight. So I'm looking forward to that.
It actually starts on Christmas and lasts until the 2nd.
No way, seriously. Yes. Oh, everyone's really excited about New Year's. So get ready.
Yes, get very ready. I think it's bigger on New Year's than it is on 4th of July.
What?
Yeah, you'll see.
4th of July was killer.
No, wait till New Year's. It's even bigger.
So don't sleep New Year's Eve. Just plan on being awake for the rest of the evening.
Till like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you know.
Or wear some earplugs or something. That's crazy. Well, I guess I'll have to have a New Year's Eve party, because it sounds like people do not sleep in this neighborhood. So,
which is pretty awesome. But
yeah, no, I love the community. Halloween was great. Trick-or-treating was fantastic. All the houses, everyone getting together. I mean, there were like 30 kids walking in like a giant group from house to house. It was just so nice to see. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is one thing about you that most people would not know about? Whether it be your company or personal or whatever, which one thing that you would shock somebody?
Well, it's not really a shocking thing, but you know, I have a nursing degree. I also have a teaching degree.
Too.
Yeah, I know, right? So I have a nursing degree and a teaching degree. I worked as a nurse for 13 years. God, at one point, I swear, I was working like 65 hours a week, maybe more. So I was working like 40 hours a week as a nurse. I was DJing Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and I think I was bartending like 2 nights a week. It was just crazy. But I did a lot of pediatric home care. And then after that, I was teaching CNAs and doing all like the CNA courses as a teacher. But yeah, I mean, I've got all this other stuff. I just enjoy being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I've got, you know, they always say like, you should, you know, it's always good it's nice that you have a backup, and it's like, I don't really want to look at it that way. I don't want a backup like plan. I want to continue to grow and grow and grow. So I don't ever have to use my backup plans. There was a certain stage in my life where I needed that, you know, but I really enjoy being an entrepreneur. But yeah, that's one thing. So if like somebody needs CPR while I'm at an event, like I can totally rock it and totally do it. So I just choose not to. But I'm like, I don't want to like push out like, hey, I'm a nurse if anyone's choking on their food at an event. But like if it happens, like I totally will step in. So yeah.
I feel you.
Got to be careful with that liability these days. Everyone's getting a little too happy, you know.
Oh, I know.
That I don't give them the Heimlich the correct way and save their life. So yeah.
So how do people get a hold of you if they want to book an event with you? What is the best way to get a hold of you?
The best way is the website.
Okay.
One, it helps me if they go to the website, as you know, through, you know, social marketing and media and the way the world of Google works and all of that. Website's the easiest. We're pretty Googleable. Googleable. So I love it. It's a good word. So if you put, you know, Encore Entertainment SATX, you know, we should come right up. The website's great though. It's a great resource. You know, we post a lot on social media, but it's kind of like oh, we're showcasing this type of service or this kind of service or this kind of service. Whereas if they go to the website, it's going to see all the services. It's going to break down everything you get. The only thing we don't put on the website is pricing. And the reason why is because it differs from event to event. Some are further away, some are shorter, some are longer. You know, we offer the military discounts. We love San Antonio military, so we're going to take care of them because they protect us. But usually the website. So that's just Encore Entertainment SATX.com. But again, if they don't want to type all those letters, they can totally just put in Encore Entertainment in San Antonio, and I'm sure we'll come right up. So hopefully I've been boosting that SEO. It should be coming up. So,
and you guys have a Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, so we have Facebook, Instagram. We just started a TikTok. Got to get on that trend, you know. So, so yeah, we have all of that. So if anybody wants to follow us on social media, that's always a great thing. Everything again is very consistent under the Encore Entertainment SATX. Look for this logo right here, this one. So that's what's there.
And how far should they book out with you if they want to book an event for Christmas? Is it too late, or are you still able to take appointments?
We're booking Christmas stuff right now. You know, the corporate world, they've gotten a head start. You know, they do. They plan their Christmas parties the January before Christmas, basically. You know, as soon as Christmas is over, it's like, oh, it's January. Let's plan for next year. But we're doing a lot of Christmas specials right now. Like we have one where you get a digital photo booth, which pretty much gives you as many pictures, unlimited, a snow machine, and you get a visit with Mr. Grump. We call him Mr. Grump for reasons. But you know who Mr. Grump is, I'm sure, you know. But yeah, we have one. It's a green guy that hates Christmas. So we're doing that special, you know, to bring to any work or home party for like $349. And basically you're getting a photographer, a costume character visit, and snow all in one at your work or home.
Thank you, Kat. I truly enjoyed our little chat. And if you guys need that special flair for any of your holiday parties or any party in general, please make sure to contact Kat with Encore Entertainment, check out their website, and like and follow their social media. And if you know any small businesses that would like to be featured on my website for free, please make sure to reach out to me. I would love to give them the spotlight. And of course, if I can help you with any of your real estate needs, wants, or desires, please reach out. I'd love the opportunity to help you. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.